Hello, so we're here at COP28 in the Net Zero Nuclear Blue Zone Pavilion, and we're here speaking with Myrto Tripathi, the President and CEO of the NGO Voix Du Nucléaire and board member of Replanet. Myrto, how are you?
Hi, Henry.
Hi. So how are you finding this COP28? What are your hopes and expectations for the COP28?
Well, for someone that started COPs for the COP21 in 2015, it certainly is an exhilarating COP. We've never seen that before. And what we've never seen, to be honest, is the fact that the nuclear ecosystem, it's the industry, the advocates, the countries, the governments that are supporting nuclear energy, seem to finally get out of that, what seemed to be a pathological shyness, the timidity of owning and going forward in public with their nuclear intentions. So that's very positive. We're very happy with that. Now, a lot is left to be done, and in particular, what we see is that the rest of the COP, meaning all the other organizations, institutions, all the other fields of climate change and climate response have not come to their realization yet. When people talk about 100% renewable in their mind, they speak about no fossil fuels. And they don't have that middle intermediate energy source, which is nuclear, that's not renewable per se, but that's low carbon as well. So that mixing of understanding, that misunderstanding still remains really strongly, and it's going to be a lot of work left ahead for us to convince the rest of the COP that we are here and we have a pretty good solution to provide.
Yeah, right. So that's very interesting. So do you think convenings like this, forums like COP28, do they still have impact to get this message across, do you think?
Very much so. First of all, I mean, it's the COP and the same kind of convincing, but I don't think there's any other kind of convincing as the COP, are before anything else a huge accelerator. It spurs novel ideas super fast, jumpstarts projects and collaborations, allows to shortcut to addressing people, building the entire program we will have for the year to come. The way I present it to the team is to say it's at the COP that we lay out what we are going to do for the next 365 days. So that's very important. Now, there's another aspect that I think is interesting at the COP, is that, as in all the sectors, even if it's how should I say that, ambivalent to say that when you talk about common good and you're like us, advocators and stuff like that, there is competition, like in all sectors. And I think that competition is misplaced, and the COP allows you to not only see that we all fighting in the same direction together, that probably we should be in parallel path because there's so much to do, and there is also, and it's very also enthusiastic, because we see there's also a lot of other actions in other fields combating climate change that we don't see as much when we're closed up in a bubble. So it's an accelerator, it's a bubble of respiration, it's oxygen fueling towards you, and it's also newfound friends and a collaborative path being built in super fast mode.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. So are there any areas in particular that your organisation is working on towards the clean energy transition?
Well, the slogan of the COP28 is Unite, Act, Deliver. I think the Unite part has been pretty well done. But I think we really need to work on the delivery part, and my organization is very focused on that. What we want today is to get out of, so you're going to tell me that I should rejoice for what happened to pledges or the ministers and the industry to triple capacity, but I'm already complaining about what's not what's not ahead, and what's ahead is turning words on paper into steel and concrete. That's what the Voices of Nuclear want to do very much. So we want to work on the project environment of the future nuclear power plants, which is also coherent with our raison d'être. I'll do it in French because I know it works in English as well. Which is to be technological neutral. We don't serve special interest for a country, for a company. What we want is all projects to go through. So working on the environment of the projects, the access to financing, the regulatory, the media, the academia, all of those things, it benefits everyone because the challenge we've accepted, we've given ourselves with those pledges, will require that as many actors as possible perform as well as possible.
That is what this initiative, Net Zero Nuclear, is all about. So what is your view on that? And you said there's a few things there maybe missed out. Tell us a bit more.
To draw a bridge between the conversation we had before on COP in general and this pledge, I think the COP today is preventing maybe the nuclear projects to go as far and as fast as they should, because we're still competing on intentions when we should be competing on results. Actually, all the different paths to decarbonation should be pushing ahead as fast as possible, but we're still discussing within one another which one is the best, which one should go with. I mean, it's amazing to me that we're still in the movement where we try to convince people that all solutions are needed on the table.
Yeah.
Now, to specifically address the tripling, why am I saying this? Because it's a huge challenge.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you crush a little bit the numbers, the projects and constructions, the projects intended, the declarations of intention altogether, it's more or less 250 terawatt of electricity coming out. We need, if we triple our capacity, 800. So we're far from target right now. Those countries that have pledged, very often, if they turn all their coal and gas capacities for electricity, if they turn to nuclear, that will more or less achieve the tripling. That also means that we should not only count on countries that have been pledges or countries that already have nuclear, but should really embark everyone. And I think one of the message also to the advocates community is that all areas and geographies of the world need to be addressed. Let's all work in parallel path. There's so much to do. There is still pockets of the world that have not been addressed, neither by our actions, nor by the industry, nor by governments. And I'm thinking, of course, of if you take an entire region like Latin America, it's really addressed.
Of course.
It's one of my amazements. So it's a little bit far from my own headquarters. But certainly, I think we should address all those geographies very strongly and don't crowd ourselves all the time.
Absolutely.
It's something we tend to do.
Absolutely is, yes. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Henry.
And we look forward to future collaboration.